49 years or history. I think 49 years almost sounds worse. Maybe I'll just use it and I won't argue with these people. As of this morning, core inflation for the past 3 months has been just 1.6%. The numbers we just announced just before I came on stage.
If you're just now joining, hit the like button. Donald Trump give remarks about the economics of America. Appreciate y'all for joining me. This is the live reaction. Usually I be at the desk, but I'm on the move. And we got to get it out there any way we can. I hope you understand.
Think of that. Close to 7 that we're projecting to. The fakers were projecting to. And if we keep deregulating and adding more capacity, like I saw today at Ford, and if we don't raise interest rates every time good news is mentioned. You know, in the old days, I'm probably old. I used to be up at these lecterns and I'd say I'm younger than pretty much everybody in the room. Now I say I'm older than pretty much everybody in the room. I like it the other way better, actually. But you're too young. But in the old days, when you had good numbers, interest rates would go down. When you had good numbers, the market would go through the roof. That's the way we're going to make it again. That's the old-fashioned way. That's the right way. Today, if you announce great numbers, they raise interest rates to try and kill it. So you can never really have the kind of rally you should have. What happens and what we want, we're going to have a lot of great months, a lot of great quarters. I want the market to go up.
Me too. Boy, Trump talking my talk.
Because they know you're going to do.
Yeah, we want the market to go up.
In the Fed, we have a real stiff in the Fed, but that's for another day. But they raise rates. So everyone says, oh, they announced great numbers. It's great. They raise rates. And the market goes down because they immediately raise rates. No. When the market goes up, they should lower rates. You want to see 20% and 25%? You want to see what we can do? We've got to go back to an old standard. When there's good news, the market should go up.
Right.
Does that make sense to everybody?
Yeah. Perfect sense.
That's the way you make a country great. But our growth potential is unlimited and it could be much higher if we went back to
when it's growth and it's good news, markets should go up.
Head of the Fed, and I want somebody that when the market is doing great, interest rates can go down because our country becomes stronger. See, you view it differently. Our country becomes stronger, and therefore interest rates should go down, not up. They kill every rally. If it's, no matter who, if it's beyond me as president, it's no matter who's president, you have a good quarter, and they want to kill it because you're so petrified of inflation. And growth and inflation don't necessarily go hand in hand. You can have growth and very low inflation. In fact, oftentimes growth is good for low inflation. So we're going to work on that, Scott, right? I think we're going to work on that very hard. I mean it so strongly, it's sickening. We announce good numbers and we see the stock market drops 300 points. I say, what the hell is going on? Do you agree with me? It should be just the opposite. All right, Scott agrees, so I'm very happy.
That's right. I agree with that.
If you didn't agree, I wouldn't do it. But we're already growing double, triple, and even quadruple the speed.
That make plenty sense, Chad.
Economy on Earth, with the #1 economy on Earth, too. And the results are in, and the Trump economic boom is officially begun. It's really begun almost from the beginning. Almost begun if you look at it really from November 5th. You know, on another metric, just before the election, it was almost impossible to get people to join the military. We had the worst enlistment in the history of our country. The worst. You couldn't get people for the Army, the Navy, the Air Force, the Marines, Space Force, the Coast Guard. You couldn't get people. And since right after the election, but especially since after January 20th when we took office, we have now the strongest enlistment we've ever had in the history of our country. We've never enlisted people so quickly, so easily. And we enlist by merit now. You know, we won a Supreme Court case that said you hire by merit. You go to college now by merit. Everything's by merit. Our country became great because of merit. And we have done some job. But think of it, a year and a half ago, we had the worst enlistment in history. And now we have the best enlistment. Things like that don't happen. You might go from the bad enlistment to okay, but you don't go from the worst in history to the best in history. But that's what we've done, every one of them. And that includes police and firefighters. It was very hard to get police. It was very hard to get firefighters. And now everybody wants those jobs. In 4 years of Biden, they secured less than...
Hello, Luciano. How you doing? Appreciate y'all for joining.
4 years, In less than 1 year, I have secured commitments.
This is Donald Trump giving economic remarks live from Detroit. Shout out to Detroit.
Think of that, though. They did, and I'll tell you what, had she won, it would be a disaster because you would have people leave. You would have not had 1 trillion. You would have had 5 trillion, 10 trillion leaving the country, and your welfare would have doubled. When you look at what's going on in Minnesota, is that a disgrace? Is that a disgrace? Well, we'll talk about that. Under Biden, we had the highest trade deficit ever recorded, losing more than $1 trillion every single year. How about that? It was killing Michigan, and everywhere else in our country was being absolutely destroyed. But in a matter of months, largely because of tariff income and the election result, we've slashed that gaping trade deficit by, in a short period of time, 62 just came out. 62%. People are stunned. The fake news back there, look at those cameras rocking and rolling. No, the fake news back there is, they're very upset about it, actually. But they're stunned. They can't believe it. We cut our trade deficit in actually 10 months was when the number came out. We cut it by 62%. It's going to go better than that now.
All right. Shout out to the Don. Another gift. The thumbs up gift. Thank you to Don. You are officially a supporter of the show.
For millions and millions of Americans, people that are in the police departments, the fire departments, people that are construction workers. A policeman came up to me recently, a nice guy guarding me. He's a perfect guy to guard me. He was a massive guy, big, strong guy. He said, "Sir, you may be looking
Trump badly Bay.
Thought I was a horrible investor because every time I invested, we lost money. And we have a 401k, and I'm up like 85%. She thinks I'm Warren Buffett. She thinks I'm brilliant. She's now calling me brilliant. It makes my life easier. I love my wife much more now. She calls me brilliant every time. I said, don't worry, you're going to do even better for the next 3 years. But one of the biggest reasons for this unbelievable success has been our historic use of tariffs. There was the tariff that made America strong and powerful in past generations, and then we got off it and we went to the income tax system. Great going, fellas. You know, we were the strongest in 1887, relatively speaking. That was around the McKinley time, Teddy Roosevelt, and some others, but we were really strong. It was all tariffs. And I know what happened. Some of these countries got together and they say, hey, convince the United States that it's no good, the tariff system is unfair to us. And so some genius, I know who, I don't want to get into it, but some genius said, oh, let's go to an income tax system. So instead of foreign companies and countries paying everything, the people started paying. And then after that, you had a depression, but that was a long time. That was in like 1913, you had the tariff switched into income tax.
Hello, self-love. How you doing?
And they like to blame tariffs. You ever notice?
Hope you're having a great day. Another floating heart. We got 2 supporters of the show. Appreciate y'all for supporting the show. Self-love and the Don. Y'all are officially supporters of the show, sponsors of the show, and we appreciate it.
And I don't know the gentleman, but he fights me, and then he goes out and says, I made more money with Trump than I ever made in my life. And then he supports these other people that were total losers. Gives them a lot of money, but he made more money. Everybody makes money with me. I always made money for people. Now it's tariffs that are making money for Michigan, and the entire country is stronger and safer and richer than ever before outside of that period of time. Now, if they had what was called the Great Tariff Act of 1887 or something like that, and it was a great group of people like yourselves, they picked really smart people to sit on a committee. They had so much money they didn't know what to do with it, and they wanted to have the money given away. You know,
Xavier Williams, lock him up.
Was the single biggest investment, relatively speaking. That
appreciate you for joining.
Be the equivalent of trillions of dollars today. And Jimmy Carter gave it away for $1. It was also the most profitable thing ever built. In other words, like buildings or casinos or anything, the most profitable thing ever built was the Panama Canal. And brilliantly, Jimmy Carter thought the country of Panama should have it.
Xavier Williams. 34 felon.
You know that, right? To the mosquito and a certain
Iran
snake,
2026.
reptile.
AKK,
It's a brutal reptile.
how you doing?
It was over. It was just
Thank you for
by
joining.
everybody. We lost 36,000 people.
We are watching Donald Trump giving us an update on the
And he gave it away for
economy
$1.
in
Well,
America.
at least we got $1. That's better than most of those guys do. We got $1 for that. Most expensive thing ever built, most profitable thing ever built too. Makes so much money. Every prediction the critics made about our tariff policy has failed to materialize. The evidence shows overwhelmingly that the tariffs are not paid by American consumers, that they're paid by foreign nations and middlemen. And Scott went over that with us before. And they're paid by middlemen. They raise the thing. Countries get involved. They pay because otherwise they won't have companies. They won't be viable. And we're the big beneficiary. Once again, the so-called experts were 100% wrong and Trump was right. People of Michigan were 100% right. You elected the right guy. If you had the other person, everybody, we wouldn't even be having a meeting today probably. There'd be no meeting. The economic club would be saying like, man, we're doing bad. It's going to be awfully tough to get people to show up. This is going to be tough, Chairman. This is going to not be a good day for us. We don't want to have. Let's cancel the meeting immediately. The Trump tariffs have delivered us trillions of dollars of new investment, unprecedented new partnerships on minerals, rare earths, defense, and artificial intelligence, and historic levels of foreign military sales. You know, you have the Supreme Court now going to rule on whether or not we can use tariffs. Can you believe this? A case brought about by people that are China-centric. Foreign-centric, but China-centric. I wouldn't want it if I was China either. You know, China's one of our biggest taxpayers right now. China. Would you ever believe you'd hear that? And they've been great. My relationship with President Xi has been great. But we have a group that's foreign-centric, China-centric, suing. And we'll figure something out if we don't win, but we should win. We should win. So great for national security. I ended 8 wars. Think of that. 8 wars. And without trade and tariffs, you wouldn't have been able to end any of them. But they brought hundreds of billions of dollars pouring into the United States Treasury, helped curb inflation, and helped cut the federal budget deficit by a staggering 27%. And that's only for a short period of time. The number's much bigger than that when you add in the full year. And I've told people I got into a lot of trouble because of the fake news back there. I told people, I said, tariff is my favorite word. I said, my favorite word of every word is tariff. I've loved it for 40 years. I came here many years ago. Remember they said I didn't come here, then they found out I did. I got an award in Detroit, in Michigan, many years ago, and still have it. They said it never happened. It did happen, turned out. I didn't notice any apology. But all I did was talk about you're losing your car industry. This was long before I ran for politics. They said you're losing.
Peep City. If we vote blue midterm, he's at risk of being impeached.
The good news is you get.
Yeah, midterms is going to be big.
Using tariffs. I've been very consistent. I will tell you that for years and years, even as a private businessman, for years I used to, because I got, for whatever reason, a lot of publicity always. I don't know if that's good or bad, but it happens. And I talk about the importance. But I said recently, I said tariff is my favorite word in the whole dictionary. There's no word. And I took a lot of heat. They said, what about your wife, your children? What about religion and God? What about Jesus? So I said, all right, it's my 5th favorite word. And I've been fine.
He changed that up real quick, chat.
Fake news, they were killing me over tariff. He likes tariff more than his wife, more than religion. He likes tariff more than anything. What a disgrace. So I now call it number 5, and I'm in good shape. It was a rough day. It's my favorite word, and I got killed. Every word, you know, when you go up here, you take a big chance, especially me, because I go off teleprompter about 80% of the time. But isn't it nice to have a president that can go off teleprompter? Don't you think? Remember the speeches, Joe? First of all, they'd last a matter of seconds, you know. Thank you very much. You ever noticed Joe would always cough before a speech. State of the Union, he gets, ah, 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 ladies and gentlemen. And then it would be like very short. Although the one time they had him spruced up pretty good, remember, he was high as a kite. He was floating, he was up there way up. That was a bad speech. But, hey, you got through it, you know, you got through it. If you call it getting through it. This country was so, can you imagine allowing 25 million people into our country, many of them criminals, many of them murderers? What he did to this country, what they did, because it was the people surrounding that beautiful
Y'all
resolution.
please do me a favor and go vote. We got 7 votes. Are you a investor?
I'm standing up for the American.
And right now, man, it's a lot of no's.
Never stood up before. You know, those tariffs are keeping the foreign.
If you haven't voted, please go vote. Are you a investor?
Great, I love that. Let China come in, let Japan come in. They are. And they'll be building plants, but they're using our labor. U.S. auto factories are now seeing more than $70 billion of new investment. Think of that. They were leaving. They were all going. They were going in the opposite direction. Now they're pouring back. It's the greatest. Nobody's ever seen anything like it. And much of that money is coming right here to the car-making capital of the world, Detroit. You lost, I mean, so many places. Since I took office, Ford has announced it will invest $5 billion across its Michigan and Kentucky plants, creating 4,000 new jobs.
Is the greatest president we ever had.
And Equinox from Mexico, right back here to America. Right? Is my favorite auto worker here by any chance? You know who I'm talking about. What happens? Where's Brian? Brian, oh, I see. He made some cash. He's out to Florida. Oh, he's been very disloyal to Detroit. Look at him. He is such a great guy, right? And that guy fought for me when it wasn't the popular thing to do. He fought for me from day one.
Thank everybody that has voted and being honest. Thank you.
4 years ago,
We got 15 votes. Are you a investor? That's the question.
Stellantis is investing $13 billion to expand its U.S.-based manufacturing plant by more than 50%. Stellantis doing a good job. Never before has an administration achieved such sweeping and dramatic turnarounds as have taken place just in this very short period of time. I mean, you're talking about 11 months. 11 months and you have a different business. 11 months and you're booming. I just spoke to an AI guy, and that's booming too. You know, we're leading China in AI by a lot. I'm letting them build their own electric plants because people are saying, you know, the amount of electricity they need twice as much as electricity currently in the United States for every other business, home, factory. They need double. So I said, we can't do that. And then I had the idea. When they build these $50 billion plants, I'm going to let them build, and they're already building big electric plants to take care of their plant. And any excess electricity, they'll sell it back to our country. It's an unbelievable, and therefore, we're going to build, I think if they really had it, you know, you hear how much, and I have great respect for China, but you hear they're building a lot of electricity, but we are too. But we're having it built privately. They're going to own their own electric. They're becoming their own electricity producer. And when they heard this idea, they thought it was great, but they didn't take it seriously because they said it's too good to be true. But then they realized that I was serious. And we're getting them 2 and 3 week approvals. They don't have to wait for 20 years before they get rejected. You know, in the old days, they had to wait for 20 years, and then they get rejected at the end of 20 years. Guys would give up their whole career trying to get one approval, and then they get rejected. In every aspect of our agenda, we're putting America first, and nothing will stand in our way. Nothing's going to stand in our way. Nothing. So one of our top priorities of this mission is promoting greater affordability. Now, that's a word used by the Democrats. They're the ones that cause the problem.
Appreciate everybody for voting.
They don't have some of the people that we have. I don't know. It's a genetic thing. It's something in the blood. We got some real losers. Mostly great.
We got 21 people in the building. Thank y'all for joining. Please go vote. Are you a investor?
Right, I'll use it. They don't have a Mitt Romney that votes against everything. They don't have a Rand Paul that votes against everything. I got him.
It's a lot of no's too.
Cold loser. I went to Kentucky where I won by a lot. I did a rally for him. Then I did another rally. He won. Then I went the second time. He won. And he votes against all the time. It's just crazy. I don't get it. And you have Lisa Murkowski and you have Susan Collins. Disasters. And you had a gentleman from Indiana that I don't believe it, Todd Young, he voted against. And you say, why are you voting against? They can't give you an answer. They're unable to give you an answer. It's like, why are they against the attack on Venezuela? They're against the attack after they found out it was the most successful attack, probably the most talented, most brilliant tactically attack that we've had maybe in 100 years. And they're against it. Why? It's one thing if the attack failed. I'd probably do that too. Change. I'd be in favor. Then if it failed, I'd say, I told him not to do it.
If we can get 3 more votes, that'll be really, really good. If we can get 20, if we can get to 20 votes, it'll be straight.
And it's a shame. And we have some others, but not many. We have a great party, but we have people.
And I think I'm going to end the poll once we get to 20. If you haven't voted, please go vote. The question is, are you an investor?
They're evil. They're vicious. But they're bad policy. For instance, you could be a genius and try selling men playing in women's sport. You can be a genius, try selling transgender for everybody. Open borders. Let the world come in. Let the world's prison population come into the United States, including all of the murders, 11,888. That's what we're trying to get out of Chicago and Minnesota and these places. So they stick together, which I admire because I'm a very loyal person. But they have horrible policy. Can you imagine if they had good policy?
Marita, thank you for joining.
Should be playing in women's sports. They had a football guy there, flag football. This guy was like 6'6". He weighed 290 pounds with zero body fat. And they had a few young women. They were the size of his leg. He wouldn't have had to run. He could have just walked. They couldn't have done a thing about it. 10 of them would have to jump on him. That wouldn't have had any impact. I don't think he would have been like a fly. It's so ridiculous. It's so demeaning.
Trump, people in Iran need you.
Look at the weightlifting records. I mean, the record got beaten by 112 pounds, a record that stood for 18 years. 1 ounce they put on stood for 18 years. Guy comes along who was a poor lifter as a man. He was in the lower portion of the class. Comes along who broke the record by 112 pounds. Think of that. They fought for years to beat that record. How about the swimming records? I mean, you can go to sleep during the time the man comes in and the woman. You can go take a nap for a little while. How about the long distance race that took place not so long ago? Long distance, these marathon deals. They had top men, top women. The man came in. The woman came in 5 hours and 14 minutes and 36 seconds behind the man. Think of it. You're waiting. The man comes in. Now you're waiting 5 hours. What do you do if you're the parents? You go home and sleep for a while. Who the hell wants that? It's so demeaning to women and who are great athletes. It's so demeaning to them, and it's right now in the Supreme Court. I can't believe it would even go to the Supreme Court. I mean, could you imagine 20 years ago talking about men?
We need one more vote.
I think you're crazy. Or transgender.
Let's see where we at.
You said there will be no mutilation on children.
One more vote.
We will not allow the mutilation of a child.
Wow.
Can you imagine having to say that 15 years ago? People would say, is that guy crazy? Of course we won't. But we're living in a different time. It's a crazy time we're living in. After real wages plummeted by $3,000 under Sleepy Joe Biden, real wages are up by $1,300 in less than 1 year under President Trump. For construction workers, wages are up $1,800. Don't forget, they were down $3,000. Factory workers over $2,000, and for many other workers, over $5,000. And I just gave the military, because we're doing so well with taking in so much money with the tariffs, I just gave them $1,776. You saw that, right? Did you see that? They had 75.
If you're just not joining, appreciate you for joining the show. We need you to do us a huge favor. Go vote, hit the like button. Usually, I'm at the desk. I usually don't do it like this, but if you rock with the channel, you already know I'm finna get ready to go exercise. So when this came on about Trump giving us an update about the economic situation about America and what's going on, I had to pull over and go live with the people. But the question is, are you an investor? And right now, might as well say 80% of the people that joined this particular live said no. And that's not good, chat. That's not good, but I appreciate everybody for being honest. If you're just not joining the stream, we need one more vote.
I said, if you had one more dollar, 1776. I said, that was a good idea. We could afford one more dollar. We gave him 1776. Meanwhile, grocery prices are starting to go rapidly down. Rent is down. Airfares are down. Hotel rates are down. Cell phone prices are down. And we're just getting started. But more importantly than going down, our growth is through the roof. It's way up. Among my first acts in office was to end the radical left war on oil and gas and stop the crusade to kill American energy, and frankly, to open up cars so that you don't have to have an electric car. I love electric cars. I think they're great. I like Elon a lot. I don't think he was too happy with my policy of opening it up, and I can understand that. But I've been saying it for 4 years. They wanted everybody to have an electric car in a very short period of time. There was no way to build the stations. There was no way to get it done. I want you to have gasoline-powered cars. I want you to have electric. I want you to have hybrids. I want you to have everything. Hydrogen, I don't know about. I'm hearing it's not testing so well. It's fine, except when there's an explosion, you're a goner.
Dang.
You heard that with hydrogen? I have one guy who's trying to sell hydrogen, and I say, yeah, but, sir, that only happens 1 in 100. Oh, great. When it happens, they find the body like 300 yards down the road. So I said, I'll pass on hydrogen. Maybe there's something I don't know about, but is anybody in the hydrogen car business? Gasoline is now under $2.50 a gallon in 17 states and under $2 in many places. We have some states it's $1.95, $1.99, $1.97. As we speak, these are gas stations. Think of that. We have gas stations in the Detroit area where you can fill up for less than $2.30 a gallon, whereas 2 years ago it was $4.50, and in many places it was way over $5. Think of that, $2.30. You see it. That's like a massive tax cut, which we gave you under the great big beautiful bill, by the way. No tax on tips, no tax on Social Security, no tax on overtime. And with our extremely successful operation in Venezuela earlier this month, that number soon is going to go lower because we're going to have a lot more energy. We're going to have a lot more, as opposed to a country that's going to be totally shut down. No fuel, no gasoline, and it's it's
Wow.
got more than Saudi Arabia. Who knows? Got a lot. And by the way, to all Iranian patriots, keep protesting, take over your institutions if possible, and save the name of the killers and the abusers that are abusing you. You're being very badly abused. If the numbers are right, now I hear 5 different sets of numbers. I hear numbers. Look, 1 death is too much. But I hear much lower numbers, and then I hear much higher numbers. But I say save their names because they'll pay a very big price. And I've canceled all meetings with the Iranian officials until the senseless killing of protesters stops. And all I say to them is help is on its way. You saw that I put tariffs on anybody doing business with Iran. Just went into effect today. And I say make Iran great again. It was a great country until these monsters came in and took it over. And it's all very fragile. What would have happened to us? I'm telling you. If I didn't win this election, what would have happened to us? In the coming weeks, I will be laying out even more plans to help bring back affordability. And again, remember, that's a fake word by Democrats. Prices were too high. They caused the high price. They never want to talk about affordability. They always go, this is an election about affordability. You see, they caused it. But they're good at that stuff. They're good at that stuff. They're fake. And they're good at that stuff. It's an election about high prices that was caused by the Democrats and that I brought down a lot. And remember, when you see energy coming down like I brought it down, and gasoline coming down, That brings everything else down. It's so much bigger than any other factor. When gasoline gets to be $1.99 a gallon, everything comes down. The donuts come down, the truck that delivers the donuts, the stove that makes the donuts, the whole thing, it all comes down. And it's coming down much faster than anybody can even believe. And remember, though, I always say, because here, normally when that goes down, the world comes down. That's the bad way of bringing it down. Our growth is through the roof. So I always want to say that whenever I say prices are coming down, but our growth is going way up. Two beautiful events, the exact opposite of the Biden administration. As part of those efforts at Davos next week, I'm going to provide much more.
3 more votes
Housing policies
to make it 30.
American who wants to own a home will be.
The goal was 20, but we almost at 30. I would love to make it an even number of 30.
This will include a ban on large institutional investors.
Appreciate everybody for voting.
Homes all over the country and making it impossible for people to buy a home.
I'm about to get ready to have to go though, chat.
And I've also announced that the U.S. government is purchasing $200 billion of mortgage bonds to bring down mortgage.
Hey, what's up, Yaya? Impeach.
Just last week, the average 30-year.
We got 28 votes. We need 2 more.
First time in many years. It's coming down very rapidly, and that's not with the help of the Fed. If I had the help of the Fed, it would be.
I'm gonna have to get ready to get up out of here, chat, because I'm getting close to going to exercise. If you don't know, I run 3 miles a day, then I walk another 1.5 miles or 1.25 miles. So I'm still gonna do the walk down after the run. So this is not counted as the walk down. And we're gonna talk about this a little bit more on the walk down. Actually, thank y'all for giving me a topic to talk about on the walk down. Because hopefully we can get to 30 votes. 72% of the people that voted are not investors. Thank y'all for being honest. Which that's the stats already that 8 out of 10 Americans don't invest.
Enhanced premium tax credits were a corrupt payoff to the insurers.
That's just about right.
More than 1,000% after Obamacare was signed. I want the same money I want it to go directly.
That's just about right as far as the stats that they put out there.
So they can buy the health care that's right for them. They can negotiate their own deal.
It's just about right.
But they'll buy their own health care.
But I think also tonight or tomorrow when we go live, when more people are in the live, we're going to do this poll again. Maybe we get 200-300 votes.
Insurance companies all over the country, all over the world, actually. Healthcare costs will come.
That's what I think we're going to do.
My most favored nation executive order. We're doing most favored nation drug prices.
Because even though Trump is kind of rambling, this particular event is about economic investment as far as in America and around the world. It's about economics. That's what this particular live is about. But Trump be all over the place. You got to catch it in segments. But if you like me, I'm a good listener. I can listen to the whole thing and get a few nuggets out of what he's talking about.
That was great. They're going to be coming down thousands of percents. We're standing up to special interests and slashing prescription drug prices by 300, 400, 500, and even 600% and more. I mean, think of that. On that alone, we should win the midterms in a landslide. Doing favored nations. The country that pays the lowest price in the world is the price that we're going to pay. And we got that because of tariffs, because I said to the countries they wouldn't approve it. The drug companies were tough, but they were fine. But they said the countries will never do it because you have a pill that sells for $10, you have to sell it for 20 or 30, so you'd have to double or triple the price of their health care there for prescription drugs. Ours would come down from $130 to 20. Theirs would go from 10 to 20, the world being a bigger place. And it was unbelievable, but the countries wouldn't do it. So I called the countries. I said, if you don't do it, then I'm going to put a tariff on you. And the tariff's going to be 20 times more than the cost that you're having to pay for fair health care. And every one of them said, sir, we agree with you 100%. We would be honored to do it. It was really rather amazing. We could never do it. So think of that. You have most favored drug prices. Your drug prices are going to go down like from $100 to $10. Nobody can believe it. And we can't get the fake news to write about it. It's the biggest thing to happen in medicine. It's the biggest thing to happen in healthcare. And I cannot get the New York Times, I cannot get anybody to write about it. When we got it done and we announced it, it was on a page way in the back of the New York Times. Same with others. They don't want to talk about it. You know why? Because it's so good. It's the biggest thing to happen. Over the past 12 months, almost every promise I made to you right here in 2024 has been kept. I've kept all my promises and much more. I mean, I've given you much more than I gave you promises, and I produced much more than I said I was going to produce. I gave you the largest tax cuts in American history, cutting taxes across the board in the great, big, beautiful bill. And as I told you, I mean, who would have gotten you no tax on tips, as I said before? No tax. I said over.
Yeah, a lot of people going to see big income tax checks this year, chat.
Any senior should be voting for
A
this.
lot of people are going to see
Doesn't work for them.
big income tax
We also made
checks.
interest on car loans fully tax deductible, so that when you go out and buy a car, if you have a mortgage.
But yeah, I'm ending right here, chat. If you're just now joining, go on and go vote. Or you an investor. Yeah, I got to try to end it right here, chat, because I got to go run. And I'm going to come back for the walk down. I'm still going to do the walk down. But I got to get ready to go run. It's almost time for me to go run. Exercise, I run 3 miles a day. I'm running 3 miles a day right now. I had to cut it back and cut down. So now I'm at 3 miles a day, walking about another mile and a quarter. And that's what I got to go do right now. So I got to end this live right now. Please go vote before I get up out of here if you have not voted yet. Before I end this poll, I don't like to end stuff on odd numbers. I'm a numbers guy, so I like things to be even. But I can't stay here long enough to get to 40. The goal was 20. We got to 30. Now we're at 33. Please go vote. If I didn't have to go run, I would definitely stay here to get to an even number, but I can't do that right now. So I got to get ready to go head over here and go run. I just had to stop at the drop of a dime and go live and show everybody that rock with the channel, see what's going on. The thing about Trump is that he be all over the place, but he really be letting us know what's going on, whether you like him or not. He really be letting us know what's really going on, it's particularly if you are investing. And as we can see right now, the numbers are going lower, but 68% of the people in the chat that's in this particular chat, which is 34 votes, are not investors, not investing. So we got to try to get those numbers up, right? So I hope that y'all start putting that on your mind about learning about investing. A lot of people finna get record income tax checks. Don't blow it. Start educating yourself about investing, long-term action, long-term investments. Invest in yourself, invest in your kids, invest, in the stock market. An investment that's going to bring a return. Invest in your health. So maybe I should have clarified investing a little bit more. Participate in your company's 401k plan. That's investing. So I got to end it right here, guys, but I'm going to go more about this situation, more about this on the walk down. I'm going to talk about it. And also, we're going to react to this all over again, maybe tonight. Hopefully, I can do it tonight. But I'm going to go over this all over again, this whole economic data live that Trump is doing in Detroit. Shout out to Detroit. So with that being said, guys, I got to go right now. I'm really pushing for time to go run and exercise. I got to do that. But I will be back for the walk down. If you're just not joining, make sure you subscribe to the channel. cut on all notifications. I got to get ready to go. I got to go run chat. Appreciate everybody for coming through. Appreciate everybody that voted. We need 3 votes left. It's getting close to 50-50. We need 3 votes left to get to 40. Only three of y'all need to vote before I get up out of here. I got about a minute left before I got to go. Please, thank you. 38 votes. We need 2 more to make it 40. Then I got to go and end it. Once I end it, then for sure I got to go. But I like to end on tenths and even numbers because I'm a numbers guy. That's why I got to get to 40. We got 62% said no, 38% saying yeah. Now the numbers are getting a little bit better. At one time, we was up to 80% that said no. So right now, more investors are coming in. Appreciate you for voting. I got to end it right here. 62. Wait, I got to end it because if it go to 43, I'm going to stay. Okay, we ended the poll. Thank everybody that voted. All 40 of y'all. Y'all amazing. Y'all amazing. Y'all amazing. Thank y'all for participating in the poll and being honest. So we got, are you a investor? 62% said no. 38% says yes. So that's right around the numbers in the polls that they put out there for us. They say 70% of Americans don't invest. They don't participate in the 401k plan. 70% of most Americans don't have an emergency fund. So that's right around where the numbers are as far as what they put out there, the government, right around there. But I'm going to do this poll again when we have a lot of people in the live. Today, it wasn't that many people. But when there's a lot of people in the live, I'm going to do this poll again and see what numbers we can come up with on that. So I love and I appreciate y'all. What's up, Jeffrey? I love and I appreciate y'all for coming and rocking with me. I got to go exercise. By the time I get there, I'm going to be a little late, but it's all right. I will be doing the walk down as usual. Once I knock out these 3 miles, I'm going to cut the live on and we're going to discuss this a little bit more. So I love and I appreciate y'all, chat. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell. Earn, spend less, and make proper investments. It's your boy, the one and only Stock Sniper. I love and I appreciate y'all, chat. Earn, spend less, make proper investments. Teach it to your kids and grandkids. Teach it to your people in your circle and your friends and the people that you love. Then you teach it to the rest of the world. To the walk down, which is going to be in about another hour. I hope I see you there, chat. I love and I appreciate y'all. I'm out. Appreciate everybody for voting.